Park Seo-joon is a K-drama legend, no doubt. But let's be honest, not all of his dramas hit the same. Today, we're ranking his entire TV series filmography from worst to best. And I'm going to say something controversial. Some of his most popular, most famous dramas. They're not even making my top 3. Stick around to see which ones got the chop. Coming in at number 11, we have Dream High 2 from 2012. The reason this one's at the bottom is pretty simple. His role was just too small to make a real mark. The show itself was trying to live up to the massive success of the first season, and the messy plot kinda overshadowed everyone in it. Park Seo-joon played a member of an idol group, but the character was barely developed. The best part of his performance was when he got to join in on the B-class versus A-class performance battles. You could see that spark of charisma even back then. While it's at the bottom, Dream High 2 was a necessary first step on his path to becoming a star. Alright, from his idol days, we move on to a very different kind of role. At number 10 is the 2013 weekend family drama, Pots of Gold. Here, he played the youngest son in a huge family, stuck in a marriage that was all for show. The reason it's placed here is that he was basically a small piece in a giant puzzle. These weekend dramas have massive casts and a huge family story, which just didn't give him the room he needed to show off that leading man energy. His defining moment was watching his character's relationship with his wife slowly grow from cold and awkward to genuinely sweet and caring. Pots of Gold showed he could handle a long-running show, but it was obvious he was meant for the spotlight. Okay, let's keep climbing. Next up, at number 9, we have One Warm Word from 2013. This was a big step up for him, a much bigger supporting role that got people talking. But the show was really about the two main couples dealing with a cheating scandal, so his romantic storyline was always on the side. Look, he was great in this, but the reason it's at number 9 is that the show's super heavy and dramatic vibe kept it from having the same fun cultural impact as his later hits. His best moment was a really intense scene where his character, Min-soo, confronts his brother-in-law. It showed a flash of deep emotion that proved he had serious dramatic skills. At the end of the day, it was a great showcase, but it wasn't his show. Alright, now we're getting into some bigger roles. Landing at number 8 is the historical epic, Hwarang, the Poet Warrior Youth from 2016. Okay, I know some of you might be mad about this one since he was the lead, but the script just didn't give him enough to work with. Even though he was the star, many people found the second male lead story more interesting, and the main romance felt a little flat. He did a good job as the warrior Moo Myung, but the writing didn't let us really get inside his head. His defining moment comes in an emotional scene where he's confronted about his real identity. The vulnerability he showed was fantastic, but it wasn't enough to carry the whole series. Hwarang was a huge production, but it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity. From historical epics, we jump to his first big leading role. At number 7, we have his first primetime leading role, A Witch's Love from 2014. This show is super important because it's the one that made everyone see him as the perfect guy for a Nuna romance. The reason it isn't higher is that while his chemistry with the amazing Jung-hwa was off the charts, the story itself was a little predictable. It was a remake, so it followed a lot of the usual rom-com rules. But his performance was anything but basic. And the moment everyone remembers? Of course, it's the iconic beer kiss scene. It perfectly captured the amazing chemistry between them and cemented his status as a romantic lead. You just have to see it. Okay, cracking the top half of the list now. Breaking into the top half at number 6 is his most recent drama, Gyeongseong Creature from 2023. This was a big, expensive thriller that mixed history with monsters. Let's be honest, Park Seo-joon was fantastic in this as the slick and savvy Jung Tae-sung, but the show itself was a little all over the place. A lot of people felt the pacing was off and the monster story could have been better. His performance, though, was top-notch. The defining moment happens right at the beginning, the brutal torture scene his character goes through. It immediately sets a dark tone and shows you how tough his character is. Gyeongseong Creature showed us a grittier side of him, but the show as a whole didn't quite stick the landing. All right, into the top 5 we go, and this is a big one. At number 5, we have the absolute classic, She Was Pretty from 2015. This show was a huge hit and is a big reason why he's known as the king of rom-coms. It's ranked this high because it's just a perfect mix of funny, sweet, and stylish. His role as a grumpy magazine editor who's secretly a softie for his childhood friend was perfect. The show was a phenomenon, and everyone was copying the fashion and makeup. The best scene, hands down, is that emotional moment in the rain when he finally recognizes his first love, even though she looks completely different. It's the turning point of the whole show and a moment fans will never forget. She Was Pretty is a must-watch. Okay, now for a role that proves he doesn't even need to be the main lead to steal the show. Coming in at number 4 is Kill Me, Heal Me from 2015. The reason this is so high on the list, even though he's not the main character, is because he's just that good in it. He plays the funny, protective twin brother, Oh Rye-on, and he brings so much heart and humor to a show that deals with some pretty heavy topics. He was the perfect balance. His defining moment is legendary among K-drama fans. Any scene he has with the main character's teenage girl personality, An Yo-na. Their bickering was comedy gold and showed off his incredible range. This role proved that it doesn't matter how much screen time you have when you have that much talent. All right, we've arrived at the top 3. And kicking it off is a drama that holds a special place in my heart. Our number 3 pick is the global sensation, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim from 2018. This is the one that started it all for me. I first became a fan after watching him in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, and I was immediately hooked. The reason it's in the top 3 is because it's basically a perfect office rom-com that took over the world. Park Seo-joon as the narcissistic but charming boss, Lee Young-joon, is just iconic. His comedic timing is flawless, and the chemistry he had with Park Min-young was just electric. The defining moment? It has to be the aura scene, where he looks in the mirror and just admires his own perfection. It's hilarious and perfectly sums up his lovable, over-the-top character. Okay, this was a tough choice, but just missing out on that number 1 spot is... At number 2, it's the slice-of-life masterpiece, Fight for My Way from 2017. This show is number 2 because it's just so real. It's one of his most relatable and authentic roles ever. The show was a huge hit because it perfectly captured the struggles of regular young people trying to make it. Park Seo-joon, as the slightly goofy but super determined MMA fighter Ko Dong-man, was the soul of the show. The best friends to lovers story with Kim Ji-won felt so natural and real, you couldn't help but root for them. The defining moment went totally viral, the Aegyo scene where he tries to act cute. It was funny, adorable, and became a classic K-drama clip. Fight for My Way is all heart. And at the number 1 spot, the best Park Seo-joon drama to date is Itaewon Class from 2020. My absolute favorite. This is the pinnacle. While Secretary Kim made me a fan and Fight for My Way felt real, Itaewon Class was something else entirely. This drama is his masterpiece because of one thing. His character's determination was so incredibly inspiring. His performance as Park Seo-joon, a guy who loses everything but never, ever gives up on his principles, was just powerful. This character's journey resonated with me so much. He gets knocked down again and again, but he always gets back up, guided by his unwavering belief in justice and himself. The show itself was a game changer, talking about social injustice and prejudice with a diverse cast of characters you couldn't help but love. And the defining moment wasn't just one scene, it was a whole vibe, the chestnut haircut. It became a massive trend, but it was more than that. It was a symbol of Seo-joon's stubbornness and his refusal to bend. At the end of the day, that's what makes this drama his best work. It's a show with a powerful message, and his performance was its unforgettable, inspiring heart. Okay, that's my official ranking of Park Seo-joon's dramas. I know this one is controversial, so I want to hear from you. What is your number one pick? Did I get it right? Or is What's Wrong with Secretary Kim your undisputed champion? Post your full ranking in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite dramas. Thanks for watching.